Women have changed the course of history time and again. What some women do at the most critical moments changes everything. Women's decision-making style, abilities, and intuition are quite different from men's. Sometimes this difference can lead to a big change. The story of a female soldier in the Ukrainian army surprises everyone. The heroic soldier has become a great symbol in Ukraine. Now the whole world will talk about this heroic woman. As Enka Daily News Team, we have compiled what this heroic woman has done for you. You can support our team, who has worked for a long time to prepare this news. By supporting independent journalism, you can ensure that such news will continue. You can use the Super Thanks button below the video. Now let's talk about this hero story. Many armies around the world do not have any female soldiers. However, developed countries now include women soldiers in their armies. Because the special skills of women soldiers increase the combat capability of armies. Women soldiers in the Ukrainian army are among the best examples of this. Ukrainian women soldiers became a nightmare for the Russian army. There are currently 60,000 female soldiers in the Ukrainian army. 5,000 of these soldiers are active in the war zone. Evgenia Emerald is considered the most successful female soldier in the Ukrainian army. A very good sniper, Emerald managed to hit 5 targets with 5 bullets. Let's get to know Emerald a little more before we tell you the details of this event. Ever since she was a child, Emerald was different from her friends. While her peers played with dolls, she played with toy guns. She climbed trees and ran very fast. She had an athletic body. This attracted the attention of her father. He wanted a boy very much, so he raised Emerald like a boy. He wanted her to always be a fighter. When Emerald was 9 years old, she went hunting with her father. He gave her a gun. Emerald was like a pro when she held the very heavy shotgun. She started shooting at the targets her father pointed out. Emerald was so accurate that her father was amazed. Today, 23 years later, Emerald is recognized as the most successful sniper in the Ukrainian army. This is not Emerald's only talent. A very successful student, Emerald graduated from Taras Shevchenko National University in Kiev with a degree in law, psychology, and public policy. Soon after, she got married and gave birth to a child, Jacqueline. She was now a mother. 2 years later, she divorced her husband. This year was very difficult for her, because Putin had decided to invade Crimea. Emerald wanted to join the army to protect the territorial integrity of her country, but she was not accepted because she had a child under 3 years old. During these years, Emerald was interested in being a good mother to her child and doing business. But in 2022, her life changed completely. After Russia invaded Ukraine, Emerald closed all her businesses and decided to join the army. She left her daughter with her grandmother and went to the front. She started serving in Zaporizhia. She was very successful during this mission, but she experienced very risky operations. When the fighting between the Russian army and the Ukrainian army flared up in the city, Emerald went up to high points and killed Russian soldiers one by one. Emerald managed to shoot Russian soldiers in the neck. This is very difficult for a sniper. Russia's soldiers wear helmets and steel armor, so they can withstand bullets to their body and head. But there is no armor to protect their necks. That's why Emerald targets the necks of the Russian soldiers. Emerald successfully takes these shots, which were very difficult for all snipers. In the Zaporizhia region, there were very close-range clashes between the Ukrainian army and the Russian army. In one of these clashes, the Russian army launched an attack with a very large group. However, the Ukrainian army showed great resistance against this attack. The Russian army suffered with heavy losses. Ukrainian soldiers returned to their military bases after this operation. But Emerald did not leave his trench. After a while, she noticed 5 Russian soldiers sneaking up. These Russian soldiers had many bombs in their hands. One of the soldiers was carrying a rocket. 5 Russian soldiers were planning to bomb the Ukrainian base. Ukrainian soldiers did not expect such an attack. If this attack had happened, many Ukrainian soldiers would have died. Emerald was alone against 5 Russian soldiers. She had to do something before the Russian soldiers noticed her. But there was a problem. Emerald had only 5 bullets left. She knew that if she didn't hit one of the targets, she would die. but she could still manage to foil the Russian soldiers' operation. She risked her own life to save the lives of her friends. First, she targeted a Russian soldier carrying a rocket. She watched him through her binoculars. As soon as the Russian soldier stepped out into the open, she fired. She managed to kill the Russian soldier by hitting him in the neck with the first shot. Meanwhile, the Russian soldiers panicked and fled to different areas. This made Emerald's job easier. The Russian soldiers were trying to figure out where the fire was coming from. Emerald acted very quickly and fired at another Russian soldier, and she was successful. Now there were 3 Russian soldiers left. The Russian soldiers were experiencing the most terrifying moments of their lives. One soldier saw where Emerald was firing from, but the Russian soldiers' weapons did not have sniper scopes. This gave Emerald a huge advantage. She outran the Russian soldier and managed to kill him too. The 2 remaining Russian soldiers were in great despair. Emerald thought that they might surrender. She waited for a while, but the Russian soldiers did not come out of their trenches. After a while, one of the Russian soldiers tried to crawl out of the trench. Emerald, who was waiting, shot this soldier too. But this soldier was not killed. He was seriously wounded. Emerald looked through her binoculars and saw that this soldier could move his hands. As he turned his head to look at the other soldier, he saw something. The only remaining soldier was trying to run away. Emerald shot this soldier too, but the bullet hit him in the shoulder, not in the neck. The Russian soldier kept running, wounded. Emerald had no bullets left, but she used her binoculars again to check the Russian soldier on the front line. She realized that the badly wounded Russian soldier was dead. Emerald managed to hit all 5 targets with 5 bullets. 5 Russian soldiers died and 1 soldier escaped wounded. After this operation, Emerald's success became the talk of the troops. Soon the Ukrainian press also started to report about Emerald. Emerald became one of the most talked about people in Ukraine. Journalists in the Ukrainian press think that Zelensky may very soon pin a medal on Emerald. The most valuable official decoration in Ukraine is the Hero of Ukraine Award. Emerald is expected to receive this award at a special ceremony. Emerald's heroism gives courage to all women in Ukraine. The Ukrainian people are united even more thanks to these heroic stories. Emerald is recognized as a symbol of resistance for all women in Ukraine. What do you think about the Ukrainian women's achievement? What do you think about Emerald's courage? How do you think women soldiers could change the course of the war? What do you think about Emerald being awarded a medal? Don't forget to share your thoughts with us. Follow us for more updates.